Hey there, Harper here. I don't know what my hair is doing, but it's fine because this is actually just a small intro to the rest of the video, but I wanted to preface some things because what you are about to watch is footage of me just rambling about the show Search. I was going to do a proper review video, and I was trying to gather my thoughts for it, and I thought I would record it, but honestly I don't have the time to record it again, so you're gonna get the raw footage of my brainstorming session as I was driving to a different appointment. So please do not attempt this at home. I was very careful. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I have like an hour-long trip, and I'm just going to ramble about the show that I just watched. And like, sorry for the vertical video. I know I'm not on TikTok, but I'm going to somehow make it work. Okay. In my attempt to watch everything in this man's catalog of work, I have come across a show called Search, which came out in 2020, and apparently was right before the Uncanny Encounter started. I watched that one, so let me talk about it. I know. So, I'm watching this show, and it is about military stuff, and I know nothing. I know nothing about Korean military stuff. Anyway, that, not important. What's important is the characters in this show. So this show basically follows this guy named Young Dong Jin, who also goes by, according to the translation of the translations that were on Viki, Dragon Snake, because Young is dragon and Dong is snake. Okay. So occasionally they just called him Dragon Snake. I'm like, that's weird. Okay. Anyway, he's on like the last. Oh, he is stationed with the K9 unit of a mine disposal team, and he's on like his last 2 weeks of enlistment, and he's gonna go back home. Interesting backstory about him: he doesn't know who his dad is, or like he does, but his dad died in some military thing. You'll notice my heavy use of air quotes. Everyone say it with me. We'll get to that. He gets in a fight with something? Oh, no. Okay, what happened? I watched this show in 2 big chunks. Like, I watched the first 4 episodes, and then it took me a month to watch, like, the last 6 episodes. I don't know. I got busy. And it was, like, 2 different shows anyways. Might as well. So, they're trying to find some wild dogs that have been terrorizing the area of where they are stationed, and they have like rabies. These wild dog with rabies. Oh, scary! And he takes his dog, Leo, and is going out to search for these wild dogs because the dogs attacked somebody and killed a couple people. Bad things. So they gotta go kill these dogs, these wild dogs with rabies. They gotta put them down. And while that they are out looking for these wild dogs, they come across a very fast, very feral person, question mark? And I'm immediately going, don't be zombies. Please don't be zombies. Why zombies? No zombies. They make a point in the show to say that they're not zombies, even though somebody comes back alive after being dead. Not zombies, though. It's rabies. Sure, 28 days later, rabies. What it ends up being is a mutation from nuclear material, but that's not important right now. That's end of the series stuff, and this is beginning of the series stuff. So they get attacked, and Leo, he gets off his chain, he runs after the being throws Leo into a mine, and it explodes. They explode a dog. So then I take a break from the show, and I'm like, I don't want to come after that. The guy I'm watching's not even on the show yet. I can't continue after this, but I do persevere. After getting thrown in the slammer for a little time to cool off because he just sort of went crazy after losing his dog, Dungeon is put with a new dog, a new old dog that he used to work with named Mech. So Dungeon and Mech joined the Polaris Special Unit, which is led by team leader, and then there's assistant team leader, who is who I'm looking for. And he comes on the show, and I'm like, there he is! And then he like says some things, and I'm like, he's gonna die. He's way too nice. He's definitely gonna die. Why do I watch these shows? Why? And then some other people. And then also 3-4 members of the bomb disposal team join Dungeon over here. And one of them is this lovely himbo right here who dies. That was sad. That part was sad. I'm like, no, don't kill the himbo. And then they killed the himbo. And he's not in anything else that I can't watch him in. Well, he is. He's in like 2 other things, but I don't know where to find them. Also, there's a girl. There's a girl played by Crystal from FX. And she's important because she used to be Dungeon's girlfriend. And then they not dating anymore for reasons. And she also is part of a medical team or a science team. She's part of the science team and gets called in because rabies, and she needs to figure out how to stop the rabies from spreading. Yep. Okay. So this special unit has been put together by this general dude and this assemblyman guy who were in an incident in 1997. They were the only 2 people that survived this incident in 1997. And they have tasked the Polaris unit, the special unit, to find missing military supplies. Basically, they need to find a camcorder that recorded all of the incident of 1997 so that they can destroy the camcorder and the footage on it, and therefore, well, one person wants to destroy it, one person wants to keep it, because basically what happened in 1997 was Assemblyman Lee, who is a war hero because he lost his leg in this incident, totally committed treason, shot the captain and like 2 other guys, and blackmailed the general guy, saying, this never happened, we are going to walk out of here, well, one will be carried, and we will take this baby, and we will never speak of this event again. And then he becomes a congressman and an assemblyman, and he's running for president. And this general was like, I need this tape so I can prove that this guy is evil, and he can't be president. Meanwhile, the assemblyman is like, I need this tape so I can destroy it so I can become president. You know, that whole shebang. So they the general puts together Polaris, and Assemblyman Lee puts his son on the team. Guess who his son is? My dear sweet boy. He's not a boy. He's like 3 years younger than me. So this man, heel turns in the middle of this show, and I'm like, you were so nice, and now you're evil. Why? That's just more. You're gonna die. I want you to survive a show for once. This might be the show. It's not the show. He heel turns and destroys the camcorder. And you're like, oh my god, he destroyed the tape as well. He shows his dad that he's destroyed the tape, or the camcorder. And his dad's like, oh, you're a good boy. You're my best son. It's his only son. You're the best son. You're going to earn stars for this. Your dad's going to become the president. It's going to be the best. This is what I've always wanted for us. Meanwhile, the general is just kind of going crazy because people are dying. So then they make a plan to kill mutated rabies man. And they do. And they're all set to clear out troops. Everybody's going to be able to go home, get discharged honorably, and all that jazz. And then Dungeon and Yuri, who is the girl, realize that the being that they saw in the very beginning with Leo was not the one that they dispatched this current time, because that guy's eyes were red and the one that they saw in the rice field was green. So they're like, there's a different host out there, and they need to find it and get rid of it. The little town that they're nearby has some people in it, one of whom is a former military person herself. She was in the special forces, and she's awesome. She's married to this guy who is also awesome, and they have this little girl who is hilarious. Out of the 100 or so people that live in this village, you only care about these 3. One day the girl chases after a squirrel and gets lost in the DMZ. Because that's apparently a thing that can happen. Little girl, don't go through those lines. Fences everywhere. Or at least I think there is. I guess not. And she's wandering through the woods. And she gets kidnapped. At least in one episode it looks like she gets kidnapped. But then in the next episode you find out that the man saved her because she was about to step onto a mine. And we don't like mines at all. Mines are bad. So the green-eyed man takes her to his bunker, keeps her safe, saves her. The military guys go in, try to find this little girl, which they do find her in the bunker. And she's all like, but like, don't hurt the man, he saved me, and he's nice, and we fist bumped. And that, like, triggers this little thought in Dungeon's head. It's like, I don't know why, but that was something I always did with my dad. And then the tape gets released. So, assistant team leader, after breaking the camcorder, kept the tape, sent the tape to a reporter anonymously. And the reporter blasted it everywhere because of course she did. It's got evidence of a cover-up of the incident of 1997. Involving a very high official and a very high assemblyman who is currently running for president. Of course she's gonna leak that shit. So the general is kind of freaking out. The assemblyman is very upset with his son, and then goes and kills the general because funsies, I guess. Just trying to clean up loose ends. No one's taking his phone calls except for like 2 people, and they form an elite task force because they're all part of the military, because he's got friends in the military, and he puts together, I think they called them like the Scorpions or the Black Scorpions or something like that. It's basically a paramilitary task force. One of those things. If you've seen the movie The A-Team, Black Flag, Assemblyman Lee and Black Flag go to the military unit because they're also looking for something else that was a part of this incident in 97, and it is stolen nuclear material. I still don't quite understand this part. So what had happened was that North Korea was working on something that was going to, destroy the world, and 2 scientists that were working on it decided they were going to defect with their small child, and the mom took the baby to a meeting spot, and the dad got lost and got exposed to the nuclear material and became a rage-infected zombie. No, he became mutated. He became very angry. The incident in 97 happens because the patrol unit that includes the general and Assemblyman Lee find this woman at their meeting spot, and she's like, I'm defecting. Save my baby. Kind of thing. And they're like, okay, cool, we will do that. And almost immediately they are found by North Korean soldiers who are all like, shoot everybody. And they're like just at a standstill, going, well, she's defecting, so we get her, but they're technically on North Korean soil. Complicated things that I don't understand happens. And she's like, no, I'm not defecting, just take my baby. And she's just like, I'll go back. And then there's a shootout that is started by Assemblyman Lee. Because he's evil. And like, everybody dies except for like 5 people. One of whom is Captain Joe, who in current timeline has been called a defector, and who also is Dungeon's dad. Because of course he is. Why else would this be important? So you find out Dungeon's dad, Captain Joe, was killed by Assemblyman Lee. So then, the already strained relationship between Dungeon and Assistant Team Leader is very strained. Very, very strained. So there's a flashback. They had put Captain Joe's body in the boat. There was a boat, and they were floating him back to North Korea to get rid of evidence because they wanted to make it look like he defected. And the boat gets taken in by the husband that has all the nuclear material. And he's all like, why? Why are you in the boat that my wife and child were supposed to be in? And Captain Joe's all like, I'm dying. They defected. I think your child is safe. And this causes the dude to just throw a hissy fit, punch both of them through a cement floor. He dies, and Captain Joe gets the nuclear material absorbed into his flesh and becomes the green-eyed monster. And it takes about 2 episodes for Dungeon to realize this, as they are trying to find this monster to, because he's the host of everything, and they gotta get rid of him. So they have this little very meaningful moment between the two of them where Captain Joe mutated so he can't speak anymore, and Dungeon is there, who found a picture of him and his mom. He's like, this is me, this is your wife, I'm your son. And I'm just like, oh, I'm emotional because it's midnight. I stayed up all day watching this show. Meanwhile, Assemblyman Lee has taken Black Flight, and they are going to destroy the bunker where they think the nuclear material is, because they're just destroying all the evidence. And Team Leader is working for Assemblyman Lee now because he wants to become a general. He's a bit disgraced because of reasons. I know they explained it. I think he got in some fights or something. They explained it and I don't remember. So he wants to become a general. And he's following along with Assemblyman Lee. But then he has a change of heart somewhere along the line because these Black Flag Scorpion dudes are evil and they're going to kill everybody anyways because they're cleaning service is what they are. So then helmets come off, and when helmets come off, people start dying. First one to die is Team Leader because an explosion goes off and he gets thrown and he has no helmet and he's just all like, let me do this, and then he dies. Being a hero. The next one to die is Assistant Team Leader. There's like a big showdown and like most everybody dies, and it's down to Assemblyman Lee, Captain Joe, Mutant, Dungeon, Yeri, who is still there, and then Assistant Team Leader Lee shows up. Assemblyman Lee is going to kill Captain Joe again, and Dungeon jumps in front of his dad, like, I'm gonna be the hero, and then Assistant Team Leader jumps in and is like, no, I'm the hero in this story. I have to die a noble death. Also, I'm gonna make my dad kill me, which is what happens, and you're just like, ah, why are you dying in everything? He's got enough time to like give a little I'm so sorry speech. You're a hero, make them pay kind of thing, and then he dies. It's just like, I'm gonna find something you don't die in. I don't care if it's the cheesiest rom-com in the world. I will find something that you don't die in. And then I'll watch it over and over and over again. And then Assemblyman Lee dies. And Captain Joe acknowledges, I guess, in his mutated state, that this is his son, and that's really sad. And the bunker blows up like it's supposed to, and everything gets buried, so no one except for the few involved will know what truly happened in 1997. And Dungeon and Naewin pull out Park. Park is a character I haven't mentioned yet, but he is important because about halfway through the series, you find out he's gonna get married, and you're like, you better not kill this guy. You better not kill this guy. He's gonna get married. Please don't kill another character. He doesn't die. Nor does Ju, who is another one where he's like, this guy is way too nice. He's way too nice. You're gonna kill him, and he ends up breaking his back. It's just like, all these guys, no one's gonna survive. Well, they survive, which is good. And then they go eat Dungeon's mom's food because she's a cook and owns a restaurant, which is great. Let's see, what loose ends do I need to wrap up? Oh yeah, Damon is the child from the beginning, the defector's children. So like she and Dungeon were like connected even way back then. Whatever. And Hyun-Wook dies again. But Mac survives, and that's what really matters. The dog survives. Well, the second dog survives. It was a trip, I tell you. A trip. And, like, I don't... One thing I'm really trying to understand in, like, these series dramas like this, they pack so much into it. And, like, again, this was, like, 2 different shows. Because you have your first... like paranormal monster movie thing in like the first half, and then the second half is like military espionage cover-up. So that is like 2 different shows in one show. My man died again, and now I gotta move on to the next show. Yep, okay. I got that out. My system. Bye.